Good morning. You're watching Much Ado About Something, and I'm Donna. Well, today's video, I just wanted to share some things with you, some personal things. As you might know if you've watched my channel, that last December 24th on Christmas Eve, I was hospitalized with the big C, pneumonia, and I went to the doctor because, I was having trouble breathing, and the doctor sent me directly to the hospital to be admitted. So I didn't have anything with me. I had nothing. I was going to be admitted to the hospital, which it took, all day for that process to happen. And I had my purse, but that was it. So Donald and I were over there most of the day. And then when I finally got into the room late that night, and I'm not complaining about the care or the service I got in no way, shape, or form. This is just the nature of things. When I got there, I didn't have my phone charger. I didn't have any kind of personal care needs. I was without anything. This little thing right here saved me to an extent as far as having an emollient. I was so dry. And then when I was, put on oxygen, my mouth and everything became even more dry. Now, later, sometime into the night, there was a lady that brought a bag of personal needs and gave it to me. But there wasn't anything in there that applied to my personal needs. I mean, there was just things that maybe a younger woman would need, but that I didn't need. There were feminine hygiene products, which, at this age in my life, I did not need. And it was just not a custom-tailored bag of things that I genuinely need. There was very little of anything in that bag that I could use. There was, I think, some soap and just a few things in there. A toothbrush. There was this really, disposable toothbrush. There was a few things, mouth rinse. But there wasn't really anything in that bag that I used that helps me. And so when I got back, and I've done this just recently, I actually packed a bag for any kind of an emergency, so that if something like it ever happens to me again, I can even throw that bag in the car when I go to the doctor for the checkup, for just in case I'm admitted, or I'll put it in an accessible place where my husband can come and grab it, and then I will have my necessities in this bag. Well, what I did was I ordered this little bag right here off of Amazon. It's one of these fold-up bags that comes like this, and you just open it up, and there's a thing to hang it on the door, which would have been wonderful. And then you have all of these compartments where you can put the things that you need, and it takes up minimal space, and it packs away nicely. And I ordered this so that I could pack my bag and put what I needed in my bag and throw it in the car when I go to the doctor, and just have it on hand, and this thing will be packed, and it will have some of my essentials. I was so thankful that I had this little container of homemade calendula balm. That's actually what this is. I had made this, and this has a little screw lid, and I had put it in my purse because I knew if I left my purse in the car or anything happened, this would not melt and get out all into my purse. And I had this little thing, which is a recycled little jelly jar out of a Christmas gift. And that emollient is what I used the whole time. I used it to condition my elbows because I have really dry elbows. I used it to condition my lips as a face moisturizer. I mean, I just used this little thing, and it was wonderful, and I was so thankful for it, because I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't had this. I mean, I just would have been a dried up, miserable human being, because I've just been in the atmosphere. I was in a room where they had an air scrubber. they had an air purifier in that room, and it was just very dry, very drying, and it was, and I'm not complaining about my care. I know these are the things that I needed for care, and oxygen and medication. You know, I needed all those things, but there's just simple things that can make those things go smoother. And so I just wanted to share with you today. Today what I'm doing is packing this bag so that I'll have this on hand if anything ever happens. And I've started out with these 5 washcloths. I like to take my own washcloths for my face and, you know, to have on hand. And so I've got 5 fresh, clean washcloths here down in the bottom. And some of the other things that I have that I wish that I had was deodorant. I don't know about you, but I'm a person that has to have deodorant. I stink. I work hard, I sweat, and I need deodorant. And I know on about the second day, after the next day, by the end of that day, the nurse came in to check me, and I raised my arm, and I mean, I could visibly see that she smelled body odor. And you know, none of us wants to be in a condition where we're like that. You know, there was nothing I could do about it. I was sick. You know, I was not even able to get in there and bathe, even though I had bathed the day before when I went to the doctor, and I had, of course, you're stressed out in a situation like that, and I had been stressed out that whole day before, that night, and then the next day and to the evening, and I had not been able to bathe. And that is just the reality of things that happen when you get into these conditions. And I'm a person that loves to stay clean. I love to stay clean and take as good a care of my skin and take as good a care of myself as I possibly can. And when you get sick, you know, you're not on your top game. It's not something that you're able to do. And so I've just complied here a little, some things on this table, and I'm just going to share with you as I pack this bag, and I'm going to share with you the things that I'm packing and why I'm putting them in this bag, my emergency bag, in case I need that in the future, which I hope I never do, but I'm going to tell you, if I do, I'm going to be prepared. Now, I've got some baggies, of course, and some things that I would not dare dream of taking this whole, you know, I would not pack that huge thing. So I'm just going to get a couple of these little snack bags that you can get, or even any kind of little baggie, reusable baggie, whatever you want to take. And I'm going to put a few of these quilted cotton squares in there because I like to use those on my face. And then I'll have those handy. You know, much like you would pack a travel bag. You just pack a few things that you think that you would use. And of course, this will buy time. This might cover you your whole stay, or it might just buy time until you can get a loved one to bring some of the things that you need. Now, my hospital stay, the doctors were the hospitals were short-handed on help. I mean, my nurses would come in on their 3 scheduled visits for the day and work on the computer and speak a little bit to me. I mean, but they did not have time to give a lot of intense care. And I'm the kind of person, I'm not going to ask for a lot because I realize that you're very busy. I realize that you've got a lot on your plate. And even though I am in the hospital, I'm not going to inconvenience anybody for simple little things. That's just not the kind of person I am. I'm used to taking care of other people, and I'm used to taking care of myself. And so I just made by on the basic needs that I have. And I didn't want to request a lot of those nurses. They were working long hours. They had a lot of patients. They were running around, and I know their feet hurt. And so I was not going to add anything to that, you know, I felt like was not very important. And me being moisturized, you know, at that time was not as important as the critical care that some people on that floor needed. So, well, I've got these little Q-tips. I've put these in a snack bag. And I've got these little pads that I love to use sometimes. And I'm just going to tuck these right here into this bag. I'm going to try to find the best place for them. But what I'm going to do first is go ahead and break down some of this other stuff before I start packing this pad. Let's see, I've got this Ziploc baggie here. And you want to make sure you got something that's good, that's not going to leak all into your bag. I'm going to take these baby wipes and I'm going to put them in this Ziploc baggie and get out as much of the air as I possibly can, because that's something that I wish that I had had. And so I have these baby wipes, these Q-tips, and these little pads put into this baggie. Now, they gave me a toothbrush, but it was really, I'm telling you, it was a disposable toothbrush. It was really flimsy, and I had to use that thing the whole stay I was in there. Now, I'm sure they would have brought me another one if I had complained, but I wasn't trying to complain. So I'm just going to pack a disposable toothbrush of my own. It's a little bit nicer quality toothbrush, you know. And I'm going to put it in this little case that I got at the Dollar Tree. There's a place for two, but I'm going to only pack the one. And so now I've got my toothbrush in this, and I'm going to take a toothpaste. And if you feel like you need to, you can just take a little baggie of some kind and put your toothpaste in there. You know, if you're afraid that thing will be punctured, or you just want to keep it clean. I mean, sometimes when you go to a place, it's nice to have your stuff, you know, laid on things that you know is really clean. You'd like to trust that everywhere you go is clean, but that might not be reality, right? And another thing that I needed was a charger. Invest in an extra phone charger. That's something I really wish that I had had. I did not have an extra one in my purse when I went to the hospital that day, and so you'll want to pack a phone charger. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start packing this thing, this extra emergency bag that I've got. There's a little air place down here, and that's where I'm going to put this toothpaste. And I'm just going to fit it in here as best that I know how. And I'll try to explain some of the things to you that I'm putting in. There's a soap container. So when I open this soap and use it, it'll be in this nice container, covered up. And then I'll have that. Put my little Q-tips in and my, let me see how this thing is going to go. All right. My little face wipes, pads, and my baby wipes. I'm going to put all that in there. I'm going to take a razor because I needed this when I was in there. I'm going to pack these scissors, which may seem strange, but I struggle opening packages sometimes. So I'm going to put these scissors in here, and I'm just going to zip this up. Now in here, I'm going to put my body wash. My body wash and shampoo. I can use this thing here as a body wash or shampoo. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And that might look like a pretty good sized bottle, but if you bathe for a week, you would want to have plenty. I'm going to put the deodorant that I needed. And I've got some coconut oil here. This is a toner. It just feels good after you wash your face. And I've got some Dr. Bronner's soap. Even though I'm taking a bar of soap, this is still a soap that I love to use. So I'm going to pack that. You can take Aquaphor or Vaseline or whatever kind of salve or moisturizer you need. I wash my face in coconut oil, so I'm going to take some coconut oil. A conditioner. That is something I know that I'll need. My hair. And then I have these small perfumes, which you don't want to be stinking to high heaven all perfumey when people come in. But in the same respect, it feels so good just to have a familiar scent after you've bathed. Just put, a tiny amount. I mean, it helps you feel more like yourself. So I'm going to take these samples of this little perfume that I really like, and I'm going to put it in my emergency bag so that I have these should I need these or want to use these if ever again I'm hospitalized. Now you might think, well, that's a lot of moisturizer. But you might want to moisturize your whole body. It seems like you get drier when you're under stress. And I'm going to have this emergency bag packed. Should I ever need it, then I'm going to have this. And that'll be one less thing to worry about while I'm going through everything that I'm going through. Oh, there's one thing I forgot. I forgot to get a brush. I got a brush. Now, I'm not expecting to go back to the hospital. I don't know that I have a reason to go back to the hospital. So I'm not doing this for any particular reason except to make sure that I have what I need when I need it should that happen again. For myself or for anybody else that I love. I've packed this bag. I changed those toothbrush and toothpaste and put them up here where I think they go. Let's zip this up. And you can consolidate these things down into smaller containers if you would like, or you can, take whatever that you need, whatever's the most important to you. But this is an emergency bag for me. And I hope this has helped you some. I hope it's been a little tip and a little encouragement to go ahead and pack an emergency bag for yourself, your family, even, every member in your family if you want to do that. What's the worst that can happen is maybe something in here might go out of date. But if that's the case, just come back and check it and take out what you think needs to be used and replace it with something newer. That's what I want to do. I'm going to keep this ongoing bag packed and ready to go so that I'll have it when I need it. And if you change phones, remember to change the charger in here in your emergency bag. Remember to keep it updated so that if something should ever happen and you should have to go, you'll have things to take with you that you can check into the hospital with. And it'll be the things that you need, things that are familiar, and help you take care of yourself and comfort you some, just having some of these things that you need. Well, I hope this helped you in some way. It was just a tip that I had for you. It's something I was doing for myself today, and I thought, let me share that. Maybe somebody else can, maybe this will help somebody else to encourage them to pack an emergency bag so should anything happen, they would have it packed and ready. Thank you for joining me today, and like always, until next time.